I'm standing on the porch of the empty ranch house I've called home for 40 years, holding a cashier's check for $3 million. My phone is buzzing non-stop. It's her, my daughter-in-law, the woman who screamed at me, called me a senile old fool in my own living room, and told me it was time to give up what was mine. She thinks she's won. She thinks I'm packing for the retirement home she so graciously picked out for me. She has no idea that the moving truck in the driveway isn't for my things, it's for hers. This is the story of how I used her own greed, the law, and a secret I kept for 20 years to not just get revenge, but to reclaim my entire life. By the end, she didn't just lose the ranch, she lost everything she built her smug little empire upon. The irony wasn't lost on me that it all started over a Thanksgiving turkey. Not a dramatic argument, mind you, but a passive-aggressive comment about how dry the breast was. That was Monica's signature. Never a full frontal assault, always a precision strike disguised as concern. "Arthur, you really shouldn't be handling such a big bird at your age," she'd said, patting my arm like I was a toddler who'd just mastered a spoon. My son, David, just stared at his plate. He'd become good at that, staring at plates, at walls, at anything but his wife's condescension. But the ranch was the real turkey she wanted to carve, the Barrington Acres. 200 acres of prime, rolling Texas hill country with a spring-fed creek and a house I built with my late wife, Eleanor. We raised David here. He learned to ride, to fix fences, to be a man on this land. But he chose corporate law in the city, met Monica at some networking event, and suddenly our quiet legacy became a lucrative asset in her spreadsheet of a mind. The comments began as suggestions. "Arthur, this land is just sitting here. Developers would pay a fortune." Then they became concerns. "David, your father is alone out here. What if he falls? That medical alert necklace is so antiquated." Finally, they became demands. It happened on a Tuesday. They dropped by unannounced. Monica marched in, holding a glossy brochure for the Sundown Grove Senior Living Community. It featured unnaturally happy octogenarians playing bocce ball. "Arthur, we've made a decision," she said, not a question in her voice. "It's time. Sundown Grove has a wait list, but I pulled some strings. We list the ranch next month. The equity will cover your care for the rest of your life, comfortably." I looked at David. He was studying a loose thread on the sofa cushion. "My care?" I asked, my voice steady, colder than I intended. "Yes," Monica sighed, as if explaining gravity to a child. "This place is too much. The stairs, the isolation, we worry. And frankly, with the market the way it is, this is the optimal financial move for the family." I told her I wasn't interested, that this was my home. That's when the mask slipped. Her face, usually a masterpiece of Botoxed calm, tightened. "Don't be selfish, Arthur. David is your only heir. This is his inheritance too. You're just hoarding it, letting it decay while you decay with it. It's poor estate planning." I stood up, my old knees protesting. "Get out of my house." She didn't move. Instead, she smiled, a thin, cruel line. "Or what? You'll leave it to the cats? You're being a stubborn, senile old fool. You can't see what's best for everyone because you're lost in the past." The words hung in the air like gun smoke. Senile old fool. David finally made a sound, a weak, "Monica, please." But she was already grabbing her bag, spinning on her heel. "Think about it. Really think. Or we'll have to consider legal options regarding your competency." And they left. That was the click. In the ringing silence of their departure, my pity for my son evaporated, and a glacial, focused calm settled over me. This wasn't my daughter-in-law talking. This was a corporate raider looking at a hostile takeover, and I decided then and there to launch a counteroffer she would never see coming. The first stage was intelligence gathering. I played the part. I became a little more forgetful when they called. I asked Monica to repeat her wonderful plan for Sundown Grove, feigning confusion. I let her believe her intimidation was working. Meanwhile, I was on the phone with Frank Hendricks, my attorney and Eleanor's oldest friend. Frank has the moral flexibility of a chess grandmaster. Competency challenge? He grunted over the phone. They'd have a hell of a time. You're sharper than both of them put together. But Arthur, the ranch, how do you hold it? That's when I asked the question I'd never needed an answer to before. Eleanor and I put it in a trust, Frank. After she passed, it just became mine to live in. What kind of trust? Frank went quiet. I could hear the rustle of papers from his end. The file's old, Arthur. Let me see. Ah, here it is. The Barrington Family Irrevocable Trust. He paused. Do you know what irrevocable means in this context? I said I had a guess. It means, Frank said, a slow smile evident in his voice, that the terms set when you and Eleanor created it cannot be changed, amended, or terminated without the permission of the beneficiary, or a hellish legal fight. And upon your death, the asset bypasses probate entirely and goes directly to the named beneficiary. My heart hammered. Who is the beneficiary, Frank? More rustling. Well, according to this, it's your son, David, but with a very, very interesting rider, a clause Eleanor insisted on. It states that the beneficiary's interest is contingent on them maintaining a harmonious familial relationship with the grantor, that's you, as determined solely by the grantor. If that relationship is broken, the grantor retains full power to appoint a successor beneficiary or, and I'm quoting the legalese here, liquidate the trust asset and distribute the proceeds as they see fit. I leaned back in my chair. My brilliant, prescient Eleanor. She never liked Monica, even at the beginning. She'd called her acquisitive. She built a legal trapdoor 20 years ago. The plan crystallized. The trust was the vault. Monica's greed was the combination. I just had to turn the dial. Frank and I got to work. The first step was to formally and in writing declare that my relationship with David was broken due to his and Monica's actions, specifically the threat of a competency challenge. We sent a certified letter. That locked David out of the automatic inheritance. The trust and the ranch were now back under my control for disposition. Next, we found a buyer. Not a developer, but a conservation syndicate that wanted to preserve the land as a nature reserve. They offered fair market value, $3 million even. It was a clean, fast, all-cash deal. Monica, of course, was monitoring. She saw the surveyors. She called, panic thinly veiled as curiosity. Arthur, who were those men? I put on my best frail voice. Oh, just some nice men from the county, checking on the water table, I think. It's so hard to remember. She bought it. She thought I was just a confused old man meandering towards her inevitable victory. The signing was at Frank's office. I felt Eleanor with me. I signed the mountains of paperwork. The money was wired into a new account, one Monica knew nothing about. The conservation group was ecstatic. They agreed to let me stay in the house for a 60-day transition period, which was all the time I needed. The very next day, I called a different real estate agent. I wasn't buying a condo or moving to a beach. I used a fraction of the cash to buy, outright, a beautiful, modern, low-maintenance home in a quiet neighborhood in the very city where David and Monica lived. A place with no stairs, a security system, and a small garden. The ultimate ironic twist. Then I waited for the trap to spring shut. It took 3 weeks. Monica drove out to the ranch, likely to stage an intervention with a doctor friend in tow. She found the sold sign planted firmly at the gate. I was sitting on the porch, drinking iced tea. The look on her face was worth every penny of the 3 million. It was a masterpiece of collapsing reality, confusion, rage, dawning horror. She stormed up. "What is this? What have you done?" I took a slow sip. "I sold it." "You can't! That's David's inheritance! You had no right!" According to the Barrington Family Irrevocable Trust, Article 7, I had every right. Your threat of a competency challenge constituted a breach of the Harmonious Relationship Clause. Frank has the letter. The ranch was mine to sell. She sputtered. That's not possible. We'll sue. We'll have this sale overturned. You're incompetent." I smiled. "The buyer is the Lone Star Land Conservancy. Their legal team is about 30 people larger than yours, Monica, and they've already recorded the deed. I suggest you direct your anger elsewhere, perhaps to the realtor who will be listing your house soon." That confused her. "My house? What about my house?" "Well," I said, standing up, finally looking down at her, "David's firm just completed their quarterly review. His performance apparently has been slipping. Too many personal distractions. They let him go this morning, and with no severance, given the at-will nature of his employment, and with no savings because you've leveraged everything to maintain the facade of your perfect life. The BMW leases, the country club membership, the designer, everything. The mortgage on your McMansion is, what, $8,500 a month? You can't afford it on an interior decorator salary. You'll be lucky if you can afford an apartment." The color drained from her face. She'd been using the phantom equity of my ranch as collateral in her own mind, as her safety net. She'd been spending David's future inheritance as if it were cash in the bank. I had Frank do a little digging. Their finances were a house of cards. David's job was the only thing propping it up, and his distraction, his demoralization, his sheer misery from the war she'd started with me, it had cost him his focus, and finally, his job. The fallout was nuclear, and it was exquisite to watch from my new garden. David and Monica's marriage, built on ambition and status, didn't survive the evaporation of both. The house went into foreclosure, the cars were repossessed, the divorce was messy and public, shredding the last of her social standing. David, humbled and broken, finally came to see me. He apologized, not for Monica, but for his own silence, for his cowardice. I didn't give him money. That would have repeated the cycle. Instead, I used a bit of the ranch money to pay for a rigorous 6-month coding boot camp for him. A new skill, a new path, one built on his own merit, not his wife's demands or a potential inheritance. We're talking again, slowly.
"Monica? The last I heard, she moved back in with her mother in another state. Her decorating business collapsed when the local society women, who'd always been more her clients than her friends, quietly dropped her. The woman who wanted to put me in a home found herself with nowhere to live. The woman who called me a senile old fool lost every single thing she valued: her home, her lifestyle, her husband, her reputation, because she underestimated the quiet old man in the ranch house. She mistook kindness for weakness and sentimentality for stupidity. I sit in my new home, debt-free, with peace and quiet. I tend my garden. I visit Eleanor's grave and tell her the trap she built worked perfectly. I didn't just get revenge, I reclaimed my son, or at least the chance to rebuild a relationship with him. I secured my own future on my own terms, and I turned a $3 million ranch into a priceless lesson. Never, ever mistake a lion in winter for a feeble lamb. You might just find the ground you're standing on sold right out from under you.